All right. So I realized after listening to the last podcast that
I knew he'd have notes. Didn't I say?
I have
he had
notes.
notes.
Yeah.
He had notes.
I realized that Jay is actually my number one fan. So I wrote this one for him.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, because I figured he'd be listening and really wanting to hear how much I loved him. So. As a son of a bitch, Nick shits on all our adventures, complaining of views of Jack and the crew, like a bitter old man with dentures.
Son of a son.
As a crusher, I'm not done yet. As a crusher of dreams, he's not as he seems, waiting for you to be happy. He's read dozens of books of heroes and crooks and concluded that they're all crappy. Son of a son, son of a son, Nick's a son of a bitch.
Nice. Pour some out for Jimmy Buffett, man.
Yeah, I gotta say it's your best one yet.
Best one in a long time, like maybe a couple weeks or so.
Yeah, at least a couple weeks. Yeah.
No,
You're back from vacation now, right, Nick?
I was never on vacation. Never on. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm not on vacation because my boss always says, "Hey, you got a demo coming up when you get back on Monday." I'm like, "Fuck you, fuck you."
I agree, man. That's bullshit.
When are you done demonstrating?
Never ever. So like even like today, I had a custom one. So those are usually my biggest pain in the asses. Is like when someone from around the world goes, "Oh, we want these 5 scenarios," and there's something I have to completely configure. Like I have to make their symbology. I have to make everything look the way they want it, and then do their workflow on our stuff. And it takes me forever to get it that way, and where I can do it all within a certain time frame to perfection.
Do you ever have times where you do 5 different ones and they say no?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. It pisses you off. Like, cause like sometimes they're like, even like with this one, they're really vague. It'll say like, "Hey, remove 263 feet of pipe and then place in 426 feet of this different kind of pipe at that location within it." All these very specific things. This is for a gas customer. And it's just, and then they'll go, and it'll be vague enough to where there's wiggle room for me, but then they'll go, "Well, that's not exactly what we asked for." I'm like, "Do you want me to show you the sentence you gave me? I will show it to you and let you try to figure it out." But yeah, actually the worst demos are when a guy is like 2 years away from retirement and he's really high up in the
zero fucks.
Yeah, he does. He's like, because like this software will literally make the job easier for everyone who's new in the company or younger than him. But he is like, "No, I'm not learning jack shit because I'm almost to retirement. Fuck you," and just throws a pissy fit. And then you're like, "Okay, call me in 2 years when that fucker leaves." And
yeah, it sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah. No, I mean, I actually really do love my job. You know, I get all the happy people for the most part. You know, like I'm showing them all the new cool technology. I'm showing them like where the industry's going, and they're all excited about it. And I don't have to hear any of "this shit ain't working. Why is it taking so long for you guys to put this software in?" Like I hear none of that. So it's fine. Wait, Rcad even claim Nick as a That's
so. John the Retired Guy says newly crowned fan favorite is Nick. And then Randy says the broadcast even said Nick is fan favorite, but you can't really take what they say.
As you say fan favorite, do you mean person we shit on the most?
Yeah. Jay specifically.
Because I wore that crown for a while and I'm more than happy.
Yeah, dude, but you shat on your own self. Like you did it to yourself.
Yeah, Nick, you did it to yourself.
See,
there's
Nick,
a point, Matt. Where like, it was like clockwork. Like by the 37th minute, you will have said something.
It's usually the hour 40.
Once the edibles kicked in.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be at least 45 plus. So on the other side of the mountain, so to speak. So,
do
Well, good to see you guys again. I know,
Yes.
Chris, you had some things came up at the last minute as well.
You know, when you hold the
And,
keys, you get abused.
And then Nick, we couldn't get he didn't know for sure if he could make it.
Yeah,
so.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, and actually, I probably could have because that guy in particular, he's over in Australia and he does that shit, which is really unprofessional, and we get pissed at him a lot. He'll kind of promise a demo to somebody at the last minute and then just be like, "Oh, can you guys do it?" And we're like, "No."
Oh, he works. He's part of your company.
Yeah, he's part of my company, but he's not like in my team. He just
Oh.
represents Asia Pacific.
He's down under.
Yeah, he's down under, and he'll do that crap all the time.
Bet you might sandwich.
Yeah, I don't know, but I might get to go to Kuala Lumpur in May, and that'll be for him. So like, yay
for him! It'll be for him.
Yeah, for the company, but
it's
his,
all for you.
It's his
like
thing.
Taking it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I like free trips to Asia, so because when would I ever go to Malaysia? So like, yeah, sure, I'll go.
If you were in the
get your
Amazing Race,
bride.
maybe.
Maybe, yeah, or Survivor or something, but that's about it. Yeah,
No, Survivor's in the same spot every
year now. Yeah.
It's boring.
Yeah. I think we've lost Chris. He just said, "Hell with it, I'm going to go print something."
No, I'm here.
He did get back pretty quick.
Just because it's been a while, I do have a couple things to talk about. Like,
all right,
I went and saw. It's funny. In the movie theater, I went. Where was I when I went to see it? Oh, I was in California. I had a couple hours.
I was in
to kill.
somebody's basement.
Yeah, no, it didn't get good reviews. I mean, it got average reviews. But the movie, the creator, which the guy who did Rogue One, Garth Edwards, did it, and I actually enjoyed it. I was surprised it's only got like
who's the creator?
No one you would know. Well, actually, okay. If you saw, it's Denzel Washington's son. He was in.
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
he's
he's
in that. He was in that TV show with The Rock.
Ballers. Is it
Ballers?
Is it
yes.
Gareth Edwards?
Gareth Edwards.
Okay. Yeah. Garth Edwards would be his
Garrett
USA cousin. Party on, Garth.
Yeah, like he's the main guy, and then I never can remember his name, but he's the main Japanese guy that was in Last Samurai. He's been in tons of stuff. Great Japanese actor.
Tom Cruise.
It's like Ben or Ken. Well, I never say it right. Someone will know. But anyway, I like
Li?
No, Jet Li's Chinese.
I don't know.
But so I mean, not to be to be spoiler free, but like to give you, so almost typical, like the first 5-10 minutes of it, or like something, and then it skips forward 5 years, and the script kind of flips on itself to where it's like, oh, and like I enjoyed it. It's nothing that's going to blow you away.
Is it an action movie?
Yeah, it's an action film. Yeah, sort of. Basically, the premise of it is that it's like 60 years into the future, and AI has kind of become a part of our world to where they do everything for us. But then also a nuclear bomb goes off in LA, and the United States declared war on AI throughout the world.
I just got one question. Was Spano still alive when that happened?
Spanos made it out. Yeah.
Fucking cockroach.
Yeah, he actually owns since LA and all that was wiped away. He now owns like all the Eastern Seaboard football teams and makes sure that they all lose.
Yeah, he's good at that.
Yeah.
He also plants fans in every one of the stadiums too.
Oh yeah, right. What was up with that lady?
Well, yeah, they're saying, but did you see the Kansas City game? She was at the Kansas City game.
Oh, really?
She was?
And at first she was just there, and then she puts on a Buffalo Wild Wings hat.
What?
So she was getting paid.
We're talking about this woman that
yeah, she's
kind of went. Bonkers. They kept going to her at the Chargers game, like as if like she's a representative of all.
And what's funny is I did a video on it, and I said her biggest mistake was she must be a new fan. You don't cheer until the end of the game, because that's the Charger way. They're going to lose the game.
Oh yeah, you're gonna jinx it. Yeah, it's the same as like me with my team in college. It doesn't matter if we're winning by 30 points in the first half. We're gonna blow it in the second half.
Then they found photos of her in cheering for the Vikings.
Oh, whoa! So she's like an NFL plant, or is it just she's just a fan of the game?
Who knows? Nobody gets that excited on a game-tying touchdown. I mean, it's come on.
It was weird.
It was. I'd rather watch Taylor Swift.
Maybe she's an AI bot,
dude. I'm converted, man. I'm a Swiftie. I think she's fucking awesome. Like that's just I all the news between her and what's his name are like
Travis
brings up
Kelce.
her to
Travis
the
Kelce.
like the forefront a lot, right? So I'm seeing a lot more things hit the the algorithm of like hearing about her and what she's done. Dude, I'm impressed, man. I think she's pretty awesome.
What's funny is my wife goes, "Can we be
He's fucking
Chiefs?"
like clear the best tight end in football. So it's like,
yeah.
cool.
She goes, "Can we be Chiefs fans?" I go, "You can be a fan of anyone you want." And then she goes,
They'll probably be in the Super Bowl against the Eagles.
She goes, "Well, I like that Travis Kelce." And I'm thinking, okay, you didn't even know who he fucking was until he started dating. He goes, "He's hot." And I go,
it's the Joe Namath effect.
Yeah. So suddenly she's a Chiefs fan and she knows who Travis Kelce is, who 3 weeks ago or a month ago, she didn't know who Travis Kelce was.
I like the SNL sketch that they did where it's like the sports news and they're trying to talk about football, but they just keep going back to Taylor Swift. Yeah.
But did you know she's in the only problem was she was in there with Jackson Mahomes, who's been accused of sexual harassment, and it's on video. They pretty much did it. But also he was next to Mahomes' wife. What's Mahomes' wife's name?
Not Taylor Swift.
Brittany.
Yeah, Brittany. And she's holding her baby like this, and they're right in the front, and there's no. I mean, it's just like if she loses control, that baby's going over the side.
You can't teach people consciousness. You can't teach people consciousness.
And she's jumping. I'm like going, the baby. But that's
sure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, they bounce right back.
Those bones are meant to break.
Yeah.
So
especially at that age, they're flexible. Yeah.
I mean,
someone would catch them, right?
But anyway,
unless it was a Charger fan.
Right. Yeah, that's
Nick's like, okay,
anyway,
so
well, I just want to finish. Yeah, the movie though, I give it a solid B. Give it a watch if you can. But
the creator,
yeah,
because
like basically
heard of it.
Yeah, it's all about robots. But they look human
man.
now, but they have these little cylinders in the back of their head.
I think Jack has it as his background picture.
It's pretty close, actually. But so anyway, the main guy, 5 years later, it shows him after the stuff that happens, and he's been sent out to try to kill this new AI that's supposed to wipe out.
He doesn't know what happened.
No, okay, so the nuclear bomb happens before even that's like in the intro minute, just like telling you everything, and then you have 5 minutes of like what's kind of happening in this point, and then it skips 5 years later, and he's been retired. I'm out of the game. I'm not doing anything, and they try to like, hey, if you do this for us, then we'll help you. Blah 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 blah, and so from the previews, this is all in the previews. I'm not really spoiling anything, but like when he gets to this mission, when he finds this new advanced AI that he's supposed to terminate. Because if he doesn't, then it's going to wipe out all of humanity. It's a kid, and so the script flips to where he's kind of becomes the protector of it, and it's really.
So he has to kill the kid, or does he have?
No, that's what
he
has
to procreate with the kid.
Yeah, it's just like it's a Catholic story. Yeah, and it's
it's a Catholic story.
It takes a major turn.
So it's a priest.
Yeah.
It's all in the title, man.
He found religion in the 5 years, and then it's just like, oh snap!
Ominous, come here, little boy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm not Catholic. I don't care.
But it's one of those where like this kid, I think it's a little girl. She's only like eight years old, and it's like Jack and I have always said, like, if you can find little kids that know how to act, the fact that this kid is playing like a straightforward, bland robot in the beginning, and then by the end, it's like, holy shit! Like the acting this kid does is phenomenal.
It's awesome.
That always helps a movie and TV show. Now we're gonna run out of movies here and TV shows soon, aren't we?
Oh yeah, very soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't even know the actors were on strike. I just thought they were supporting the writers.
No, they went on strike too.
They're all, they don't want to be AI bots in the background.
Well, it's going to happen.
Yeah, but you can't just take somebody's image and be like, okay, bloop, we're gonna.
Well,
put
but this is our chance, guys. This is our chance. We could be, scab actors.
Yeah. I mean, Matt and Jack have been wanting to do us AI for years now. Just like, they just pull up, this podcast, Jack tells the same joke every week,
Yeah.
it's
okay, Jay. I thought Jay wasn't on this week.
We have enough hours of the show that we just feed it to an AI, and then it would replicate what we would say. There would be obviously
that would be fucking interesting.
So they're going to run out of movies here soon, right?
Well, yeah, because like think about it, we have For All Mankind.
Chris and I are still like contemplating like
the AI podcast. Yeah.
Well, how do we set that? I don't have the technology to do it.
So we have like 2 shows coming out, I think, in November. For All Mankind, something else, and then you have Dune Part 2 in March. That's the only thing I can even think of that's really.
Well, there's that Western that's going to
Taylor Swift.
No, Swift,
different Taylor.
Western.
Taylor, the guy that does did Yellowstone and all those other shows. He's doing a show on Paramount. It's about a black sheriff or marshal, untold story that greatest lawman of all time that no one ever knows, and it looks pretty good. And
well,
I like this. Would AI Chris run to the restroom?
No,
probably.
AI Chris would definitely be on edibles.
Yeah.
What was the other movie you saw?
To have that all that algorithm.
That's the only movie I saw that I watched on Netflix. I watched the Fall of the House of Usher, which is pretty good. You know, they made the movie back in the 70s, which is based on Edgar Allan Poe's story. But what I liked about this series is that, you know, the Fall of the House of Usher story is actually quite short, like a lot of Edgar Allan Poe's stories. But what they did with this one is every episode is based on a different Edgar Allan Poe story, and then the overall arc of it is the Fall of the House of Usher.
Really cool.
And so it's very subtle too. Like, you know, there's one that's Telltale Heart. There's one that's
Raven.
The Raven's the last one, of course.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
sorry, listeners.
But yeah,
I don't want to watch it now.
Even the Pit and the Pendulum.
I'm more. You piqued my interest.
Yeah, even the Pit and the Pendulum. It's not a full story, but you see like the death of.
It's just the pit.
It's the Pit and the Pendulum. Yeah, okay. And so you're like, oh, that's cool. Like, so if you know your Edgar Allan Poe, the poems, the stories, you're like, oh, you'll spot them. Yeah, but it's pretty good. I mean, the ending.
No one expected the football team to show up.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Then Taylor Swift out of nowhere, like just
the Ravens. You know, they were named after his connection with Baltimore. So the Baltimore Ravens just show up and like.
What's interesting about the Baltimore Ravens is, you know, the only reason why they moved to Baltimore is because Cleveland could not get a new stadium in Cleveland, so they left on purpose for 3 years, went down to Baltimore, and then they could negotiate better to get the new stadium built, and then of course they came back as a different team, and then they were the first team to have the expansion draft or whatever.
Okay.
Well, they got to keep their name, and that's what San Diego wanted. They wanted to keep the name Chargers and have the Chargers rebrand, which probably would have made more sense.
Yeah,
since you're moving to a different market, but it didn't work out.
I mean, it's the same as
water under the bridge now.
It's the same as with the Oilers. You know, the Texans.
Oh, hey, they're playing tonight in the Oilers jerseys.
Oh, nice. Oh, I hate to miss that.
Yeah. I just learned about this from.
The Titans are.
The Titans are. They're playing.
They're not playing tonight.
Oh, isn't it Thursday? It's Thursday night football.
It's Tampa Bay versus Buffalo. I was watching it.
Oh.
Okay.
What was my brother saying? Maybe it's next week then. Is it next week?
Or next time they play? Well, the Titans are trading everybody.
I thought he was saying that it was the Thursday night game, but all right. Well, I was fed some poor information, but I guarantee you, they've played in their Oilers jerseys recently, or they will.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it's neat. I mean, a lot of people don't even. You guys have seen me. I think I have an Oilers hat, and you wouldn't believe how many people walk up to me like, "What is that on your hat?" And I'm like, "It's an Oiler rig from the Houston Oilers."
Because we're the
secret
Houston
society,
Oilers.
Real extreme QAnon group.
Yeah, it's a Q. Yeah, I thought that was a bit mean of Jay to say that Nick is the Q as a bit of QAnon or whatever he called me. I was like, that's a bit harsh. Yeah.
Wow. In other news, the Patriots actually won.
Oh my god!
Oh, they pulled one out.
We did. It was, I mean, we all watched that game from my living room. You're like,
they played Buffalo, right?
Yeah, like we had no thought in the world that we're going to beat Buffalo.
Mac Jones
pulled it off. Yeah.
Wait, I'm just now putting this together. Nick, did you become Bruce Banner because you were the Hulk, and we made a reference to that in the last podcast.
There you go.
Damn, callback. So
Because
And-
Who made the reference?
Jay.
we
Okay.
were contemplating who amongst us would be different Marvel characters. I actually thought about this in the studio later. I was just like, I was drawing or working.
Wait,
I
we
was
talked about that last time?
Yeah, it was when your edibles kicked in, but
Okay, I don't remember.
I thought Chris was the one that made the comparison to like
Somebody
the-
did. I mean, y'all only said two people. One of y'all said Chris was Iron Man, and I was Bruce Banner.
okay, but this guy over here has to be Captain America, right?
Sure. I think he's more Nick Fury.
or Professor X.
X, yeah.
It's because of the hair.
Yeah. I do love. There's an episode of
Nobody said who I am.
Curb Your Enthusiasm where somebody asks Larry David to pray for him. He kind of, and they're like, why? And he's like, what's the point? Why would I pray for somebody? You think God's gonna be like, oh, this guy's got cancer, fuck him? But no, Larry David prays for him. He's like, okay, now I'll change my mind. You know? And then the guy,
Such a great show.
And then the guy's like, well, how do you know prayer doesn't work? He goes, because I'm bald.
I remember that. I like the one where he's at a dinner party, and there's a serviceman there, and everyone goes, "Thank you for your service. Thank you for." He goes, "Hey, how you doing?"
Right.
And they're like, "Larry," and he won't say it.
Right.
You all said it.
He's the
Not
best.
message.
You remember this? I saw a clip of him. It was the episode where he was on set of Seinfeld, and he wanted to act out a scene as George.
Yes.
Oh
You know
yeah. I
He
recently saw that
acted
too.
it
It
out
must
as
have
George.
been. It
So
must have been our
he's-
TikTok.
in Curb, he's on the
algorithms.
set of Seinfeld, and
Oh.
he asks Jerry to act out one of the scenes as
I
George.
think it's from that season that they did
Oh, okay.
the reunion, because there was the Curb Your Enthusiasm season where they did the reunion season of
Yeah.
Seinfeld. I think it's from that.
It was funny.
Yeah, it is hilarious. Yeah, because he comes in and is totally just over the top. George,
You know, he
Costanza.
does the voice of George Steinbrenner.
Yes.
Yeah, he was always him in the chair.
There's
yeah.
there's always like these background, like if you watch enough of the Seinfeld, you can pick them out. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that person on the subway, that was Larry David, or
Yeah.
you know, because like he'll just you won't even see him. You'll just hear the excuse me or blah blah blah. It's like it's a way that they didn't have to pay an actor for that because
Well, the one where George is pretending to be a marine biologist in the Wells. Is anyone here a marine biologist? That's Larry David.
oh okay.
He pulls out the Titleist.
I did
Um,
start to watch Invasion because Chris was talking about it.
I was going to tell you about. Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Okay, yeah, I only watched the first 2 episodes so far. You know,
Oh, okay.
but,
All right.
I see what they're doing with it.
That's
but-
on Apple, right?
on Apple. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's kind of it's creepy. Like it's kind of like a real shitty story about you think about like I don't know, you think about like all the there's like no hope for them. Like any like the TV shows or movies you watch about invasion, they have like this rallying cry of how they're going to overcome. No, they just get their asses kicked every week from these fucking aliens. And it's like, oh my god!
But isn't that realistic?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun watch, but
Because their technology is far
it's not a
superior.
feel good show. Yeah.
But there's always a mistake. That, like in Independence
Mhm.
Day, there's always some weakness.
Mm.
That they,
Yeah,
those aliens
somehow
don't think about.
we are better.
Well,
than the
yeah. To
aliens.
me, I mean, War of the Worlds was the only one that made sense of like, oh, the aliens forgot that germs, going into a new
Mhm.
ecological system will probably.
You think
kill
they'd know that traveling all across the galaxy that they would know that?
You would think so. Yeah. I know.
You think someone would say, "Hey, what about the germs?"
So, as you guys may know and don't care, I've been doing this huge Star Trek binge.
Yeah,
going
you
through the
mentioned
whole
it,
thing.
yeah.
I'm
We
on
care.
to Enterprise. I'm in. What's up?
We care.
Oh, well, thanks. Well, I just I
we
feel like
listen.
I just am like.
you guys give a shit or anything, but
That is me.
Trek.
that
Hi,
is
Matt.
me.
I'm
Okay,
not,
so
I'm not gonna say I care.
I'm on to Enterprise,
Nice.
which so far is like probably my least favorite of the shows. But it's interesting because it takes place, or it was created in a post 9/11 world. You know, like it started to air, I think, in 2000 or 2001. And so by the end of season 2, there's a moment that happens, and I'm like, oh, that's your 9/11 moment. Got it. And then from here on forward, we're seeing like, you can't torture me. You're too, you know, and all of these things. And it's like, oh my God, like they're really, you know.
Which one's the Enterprise?
Enterprise has Scott Bakula.
No.
Scott Bakula. It didn't last very long, did it? Like
The 4
2, 3
seasons.
4 seasons.
4 seasons,
Okay.
almost 100 episodes. Definitely not as good as
I never saw
BSG.
one of those episodes.
And dealing with the whole post 9/11 world, I thought BSG handled it better. But Enterprise does have a character that reminds me of Nick, and every time he's on, I'm like, that's the Nick of Star Trek.
Oh.
The character is Trip, and he has kind of a down home, you know,
Oh, okay.
good old boy kind of like.
He's a redneck.
okay.
Is what you're saying?
Character. What's up?
He's a redneck. What you're saying?
No, that's not. He's the engineer. He makes sure the ship is running, you know, and so
It still could be a redneck.
Okay. So the other thing about this show that's interesting is they tried to sex Star Trek up, and the Vulcan to Paul is like,
she have 3 boobs.
No. But there's a lot of these moments.
Fucking Total Recall, man. Nice.
Bringing it back to War of the Worlds. The doctor on there is very concerned about bringing any microbes on the ship. So they always have these moments where they're lathering each other up.
Yeah, they are.
Seriously, I don't know how. Okay, you're flying through space. It's the year 2100 something, and you can't have a spray that just puts these you have to lather it on. And so there's a lot of these lathering scenes. And
spray ruins the ozone, right?
One of the episodes, it starts with the communications officer. She's lathering up to Paul, who's, you know, barely clothed, and she's lathering up the captain, Scott Bakula, and then he's lathering up his dog.
Oh, okay.
And it is just
Stage
the
first.
weirdest.
I don't.
scene.
No wonder the show got canceled. It's just the wrong direction.
It is weird though how like shows will kind of stuff like that will come out of nowhere. Like I always think of Starship Troopers, you know, like where it's kind of just a normal, then all of a sudden it's like full nude shower scene. You're like, what the heck? Where did this come from? But
What just happened to Chris?
I
There?
know he kind of crawls and then
He had a technical difficulty.
Yeah.
I did learn something
This
about.
fucking camera's been being weird.
I did read something recently, and of course, you never know if it's how factual it is about Star Trek, though, Matt. Which I didn't know this, but it was talking about just the movie series in the 80s and early 90s, and how in Star Trek 6, the Kim Cattrall character originally was supposed to be Kirstie Alley's character, and of course, you know, she didn't come back for Star Trek 3. But that was still supposed to be her.
Oh, Saavik.
Saavik,
Okay.
yeah. They tried to be her, and then actually they tried, when they couldn't get her to come back for that role, they tried to actually flip it to Spock's father, being the traitor. And,
that would have been messed up.
Exactly.
His father is part of the classic series, and he goes on to have a big role in even the Next Generation. So,
But the writer of Star Trek, the creator of Star Trek,
Gene Roddenberry.
he basically said no. He put his foot down, like, no, that would never happen. And so that just killed it.
He had a very idealistic view of what the future should be. And so in that way, he was very positive about it. But each series kind of reflects a little bit of the time period that it was created in, and what the topics that were being dealt with. And
I read that Shatner didn't want Kirstie Alley back.
Oh,
really?
Odd. Okay.
That's what I read. That's what she wrote. She wrote before she died. She wrote that, and then she said,
I'm gonna burn them all down.
it was something about her getting sexier as the film goes on. And then whoever wrote that showed different clips of her. First, she's just kind of like plain. She's supposed to be a Vulcan, you know. And she all said she got better looking.
And then her hair gets
I mean, when they're on the moon, inside the moon, her hair's down, and it's just but whatever.
But I'm just saying, maybe Shatner made a pass at her, and he's, you know, she said no, and you know, he's pissed off about
I thought that it was like trying to show that she was allowing herself to have emotion. You know, like
that was just somebody's.
Sure.
That Kirstie Alley did write that she, you know, she wanted to come back, but William Shatner didn't want her back. I thought you did a good job in the.
No, she,
I'm-
yeah,
I'm actually with George Costanza. Search for Spock. Search for Spock is great. It's great. It's one of the best Star Treks.
Whatever. Ron, the retired guy. Go fuck off.
She wrote it.
Yes, I
posthumously.
said yes. She wrote it before she died. I mean,
whereas then she wrote
Before
it
she
after
died?
she died. Yeah.
She had a lot of.
what is she's an AI
tweets
now?
all
She's
over.
AI,
She's an
yeah,
AI now.
AI Kirstie Alley.
They were drafts of tweets that she wanted to publish, but posthumously after
Exactly.
she died,
Yeah.
they were like,
Exactly. It happens
"We've got
all
her
the
Twitter
time.
account. We're just going to let these fly." You know,
She's got her
it was
X
just
account.
she had it in her will. She was going to
Yeah.
burn Hollywood down.
Anyway, all right. So I fucked up.
Okay, it's all right. I didn't mean to get on the whole, Enterprise kind of thing, but I'm halfway through. Can't wait to be done with Enterprise. I think, other than one season left of Discovery.
So you don't really like it at all, or
I'm
just
all- It's okay. It has its moments. Each Star Trek kind of does. It's just that there's not a lot of characters that I'm like, like Nick wouldn't be solely Trip. I think Nick is kind of a combination of Tom Paris from Voyager mixed with, Trip. Whereas I think, Chris is kind of more of like, he's like a Scotty. Like I think of him as like old school. Like he's got a little bit of that,
I hope not. He can't fix his camera.
but he's also got a little bit of.
It looks good now, doesn't it?
Beam me up, Mr. Scott. I just can't.
I would
fuck yourself.
I would say Jack would be, of course, Picard, but that's only because of the haircut, no
Thank
other
you.
reason.
Thank you.
It is funny how some people, any sitcom, if they really get into it, they see shades of their friends in those characters, because like I said, I've only seen a handful of Parks and Rec episodes because I didn't have the channel when it was aired, or I didn't watch it then. And then now you can only watch it on
Peacock.
which I don't have. Like I haven't watched it other than just a few episodes here and there. But I had at least 3 or 4 people come up to me who just know me, and they're like, "You're very much like Ron Swanson in a lot of ways." He goes, "But you're also a little bit of a big character in that you're nerdy." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll take that as a compliment."
It's Ron Swanson's not a nerd.
I could see that. I could see how you having a little.
I
bit
definitely see Ron Swanson.
You don't have enough positivity to be Leslie Knope, because Leslie Knope is completely full of like
Leslie. Who's Leslie?
That's the main character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe Ben Wyatt, and because he gets really nerdy.
That's what I'm saying. Ben.
Oh,
yeah.
Ben. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ben. He said
I
like
thought you were
he
talking
goes,
about-
"You're a
I thought
combo
you were
of
talking
Leslie. I mean, not Leslie, of Ron and Ben." And I was like,
Ben,
"Oh,
yeah,
okay."
I can see that with Ben. Mhm.
I was like, "All right."
That's actually pretty spot on.
Oh.
Take one part this, one part this.
I watched a show. I watched Billy the Kid.
Is that a
season-
TV show?
It's a TV show. It was on Amazon, but I guess it's MGM has their own streaming service.
Huh.
I didn't know this, and so the first season I watched it straight through, and then I go,
No, I'm just saying.
"Where's
MGM,
the second season?" Oh, you have to sign up for MGM.
Oh.
I said, I hate when Amazon does that. That's fucking
they
bullshit.
just wait.
And, so I'm waiting because so what I'm gonna do is they have a 7-day trial.
Oh,
So I'm gonna wait till, because there's only like 3 or 4 episodes been released so far. I'm gonna wait till they're
Yeah.
all released, and then I'll do the 7-day trial. Then I'll cancel it.
you should
do
do it over
them.
the holidays so that like
If
you don't have
it's
any
all out,
kids or
yeah.
interrupt.
But the problem is, I didn't know anything about Billy the Kid. I just knew his name.
Oh, really?
I
You
really
never
didn't know
watched
much
Young
about
Guns?
Billy the Kid.
Young Guns, man.
Yeah,
I've watched the Young Guns. Yeah,
That's Billy the Kid.
yeah. Well, remember I thought I watched it before.
Or
then I-
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure too. Don't forget.
The second one, I don't think I saw the second one.
Yeah, Billy the Kid is in that.
Young
That's
Guns
right.
2 is okay. It's not as good as
Hello,
the first
Mr.
one.
the Kid.
Hello, Mr. the Kid. Yeah.
'Cause I watched a movie with Matthew McConaughey. It's was it
You
where they
fuckers.
capture they capture the German sub.
Oh, you
Oh,
571.
Yeah, I'm not going. I don't think I've ever seen this movie before. But then there were parts I go, all right, I remember that part.
Yeah.
But I'm like going, but I was like, Matthew McConaughey really overacted in that movie.
Yeah, that movie pissed a lot of people off because it's kind of like, because that really was British. Like British people did that more than the United States did. So like a lot of people took offense that they had to be an American crew and an American sub. And I was like, no, I was like the British did all that, not us. And so like, why did you have to bastardize history? Making it that way.
You had to have Bill Paxton, and every time I see a movie with Bill Paxton, I go, I miss Bill Paxton.
But yeah, of course, everybody loves Bill Paxton. How can you not love Bill Paxton?
Yeah, it's just like, God damn, I miss Bill Paxton.
What blows my mind is that he's exactly the same age as my dad, but I always thought Bill Paxton was way younger than my dad. Because even in Weird Science, he's like 33 years old playing.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's the one character he does that you really don't like. Chuck, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chet.
Chet.
I love it when he turns into the blob.
Yeah. A piece of shit. That's what he is. He's a big piece of shit.
But every other movie, it's like
just like farting. And,
it's just like I want to hang out with Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Holy shit! Yeah, he was
I told you. Yeah.
1955. Huh.
John retired guy. Bill Paxton did those movies before he died.
That's true. He made it.
Hey, John the retired guy. I can block you from the chat. You know that, don't you? I'm sure. I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure there's a way to do it.
You don't even know how to post the verses correctly.
It's true.
What did I do wrong?
What did you do wrong? It's like Luke gets off the toilet,
Which is what I voted for.
and then you put Luke and Rey fight Kylo Ren. That's not a fucking scene.
Isn't that what Jay said?
He said Kylo Ren and Rey fight Snoke.
Oh, I couldn't read my writing. I'm sorry.
You got it all fucked up.
I'm like
But-
going, what the fuck?
So who won?
Be honest with you, I forgot all about it.
The Falcon flies again.
Yeah, Chris,
Nice.
I think it was you, Chris. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a landslide too. Like there's like no
wait.
votes and then one thing.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, because someone fucked up the poll. I mean, this is like a hanging
You
chat.
can bash me in a second. And this time we're going to take a commercial break.
Jesus.
Nice.
Talk about a hanging Chad.
Chit.
Hey, you can
Chet.
you
Hanging-
guys wanna
Hanging
vote?
Chets. That's going to be the episode title.
I never want to do it.
We know this,
Right.
Jack.
Well, I did. So I'm no longer going to have a personal Facebook account, but I'm dabbling in the arts of Facebook with my everyday underscore
Yes,
inventors.
we just
Okay.
accepted you to the.
I appreciate that. When I had
That
to
was me.
apply to the Jay and Jack, did you get to see my answers?
I didn't even see you because most people that don't answer, I don't let them in the chat.
Oh,
I mean, I don't let them in the group.
did you read
Oh.
my answers?
I didn't read your. I just said, "Oh, every day is a vendor."
was like-
you can go in there.
It was like favorite TV show. I said Lost, of course. And then I think it said like why should we let you into this group? And I was like, because I record podcasts with some of these people.
Yeah. One of the questions should be who's the fan favorite of the RCAD.
Wait, who's gonna give that if they're like?
Because
Then they
they'll never get in because I won't get voted, and so since I'm the one letting people in, it's like
You might get some votes. You don't know.
Hey,
actually
are
I forget about that too. I just happened to go on Facebook that day and saw there was a.
Hey, are you over 40 and on Facebook? Check out the Jay and Jack Facebook group. You can become a member and vote for the only place that we allow voting. It's very, very restrictive. I think it was run by a red state.
It does kind of blow my mind when you think about it. Because you do kind of almost have to be near 40. Like, because Facebook came out in 2004. I was 23 when it came out. So, like, yeah.
We're still looking for someone to be in charge of the group. We keep having these votes, but nobody can win. So it just keeps going on and on. And then we're just probably going to settle on somebody that nobody knows.
That sounds good.
No one asked, but I'll tell you.
That was a political.
Not that, but yeah. I think because I have no memorable scenes from the sequel trilogy. They get
you
no
don't remember
points.
anything.
And,
There's nothing out of that.
But if I was going to pick a scene,
Absolutely.
I would say when Ray. No, yeah, Broom Boy. That's a good one. No, when Ray sees Darkseid Ray with the dual lightsaber. That's with the two.
Oh,
that's probably the only scene I liked.
so like 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Yeah,
that's what would be one of the worst.
Because I think it would have been
trilogy.
cool. Because I mean, that's where it would have been a way cooler trilogy at the end of the Last Jedi if if Ray would have actually joined Ben. You know,
Well, they should have just stuck with Colin and
yeah, they should have,
and just let him have his vision, because then you would have had 3 different flavors, 3 different directors, 3 different stories, and just let it be that. And it was going to be called Duel of Fates,
which is a cool title.
Yeah, and it would bring it back to the beginning and the idea of the fate of the universe, like, you know, being in the balance. So,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, Jack. We didn't see you there. We stumbled into Owen and Brew's barbecue.
Yeah. Well, it's all related to the verses that Jay picked. So.
Well, Chris, it's your turn to pick the verses if you want to do one.
Shit.
He was like, I was ill prepared for this.
I was not prepared for that.
This is where the chat comes in,
I'll
because
throw
the
an
chat
idea
is
out
going to
there.
like light up with like lots of different ideas for Chris to.
Favorite Dorito potato. Favorite Dorito flavor.
No.
We've done favorite.
So
Dorito.
what I was
I
going
watch
The company about it.
what I was going to propose, if unless Chris can think of a better one, was the 1995 Oscars. Was probably the best year for Oscars. I'll read them to you. Nope, wrong one. So the 1995 Oscars for Best Picture, which is 1994 films, were Four Weddings and a Funeral, Quiz Show, Shawshank Redemption, Pulp Fiction, and Forrest Gump. Each of us pick one of those films and debate why it should win.
Let's say there's only like really 3 contenders there.
There's 3 contenders. Yeah, I mean you can make it. You can make a case for Quiz Show, but
Quiz Show I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, Four Weddings and a Funeral is definitely the elbow out one. But
yeah, it's a chick flick.
But no, that's just
camp.
I mean, I'll let Chris choose. Chris can choose one. I'm just saying that was the one that I had thought of. Ernest Goes to Camp, John. Yeah, that's a good one.
Wait, Ernest Goes to Camp? What year was that?
It's like 89 or something.
Do you know what the secret ingredient to eggs erroneous was?
Chicken, pot, pie.
No, it was modeling clay.
Modeling clay. Oh, Jesus Christ. No wonder it tasted so bad.
Well, we can come back to you, Chris. You know,
Yeah, we'll come back.
While you're thinking, I got a story to tell about my grandson Hayden. I had three grandsons that day. I had Hayden, Ashton, and Jackson. I always call Jackson Ashton, and Ava and Hayden always correct me. Go, it's Jackson. It's Jackson. I go, well, why don't you name? Why was it Hayden and Jackson? It's just two. So now I call him Jax. I try to call him Jax, but
it's the A sound. I get it.
I get it. So anyway, when I'm feeding Jackson, and sometimes he'll sneeze when he has the food in his mouth, and it just sprays all over the place. Just coat. Just like, oh, come on. So I want to, but I can't. He's not old enough. So he sprays the food. He does it again. He goes, I go, oh, come on. And my grandson, I didn't realize he was standing behind me. Hayden, he goes, what the fuck?
Where do you learn that?
Well, we can't figure it out because I say it, but I don't say it around him. You know, I don't. But he goes, and I said, what did you say? He goes, what the fuck? I go, no, we don't say that. We don't say that word. That's a bad word. It's not funny. It's not funny. We don't say that. I go, he goes, I learned it at school. I go, in preschool? I don't think you learned that in preschool. So anyway.
Oh, John likes to just punch down, by the way. That's all of his suggestions.
Yeah. How about the shittiest sports logo by John Guy? It's easy. It's the Cleveland Browns because it's the color brown.
It's just a color.
Their mascot is a fucking brownie.
Yeah.
By the way, like when they keep saying like it's Jackson, like don't you want to say it's Miss Nasty? It's like
well, I have malfunction.
It's Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
So if you're nasty, yeah.
I just can't. I screw up all the names. Fuck, man.
It happens, man.
Too many kids. I'm old.
Yeah,
I'm not that old yet. I'm not taking Social Security yet.
You know, it's like
year away.
Too many passwords to remember. You know, it's like,
yeah, it's just life is tough.
Isn't it
tough? Most overrated.
I have no idea what to do for a top 10 or not top 10 versus.
Well, let's just go with Nick's.
I agree with Sherry. Shawshank would win easily.
Maybe you don't know though. Because there's a lot of people that like Forrest. There's a lot of people.
Well, why didn't you pick Quiz Show?
Why didn't you pick Ernest Goes to Camp? I said it in the chat, motherfuckers. It would be John. It would be like him saying it. Like, why didn't you pick this? Even though he was like with us the whole time. Like,
yeah.
So,
no, it's people that don't listen to the show. That's the problem.
The critics
people that don't listen to us while we're here. It's like we give you this hour and a half of our lives,
of our time.
Every Thursday or Wednesday or Tuesday. I guess we're probably not going to be doing Wednesday.
And we give.
Yeah.
What about favorite character in a trilogy? Or
I like, and we've never done this one before. Favorite color.
Okay.
Oh, we're in preschool again. All right.
I tell you something.
You just want to boil it down to
no, but I think we should do it just to hear what people complain about. In
I can't believe I didn't pick Puce.
We should just do it.
Nobody picked pink.
Yeah,
you guys are a bunch of dudes.
What would happen if I said?
I can't believe.
What if I said white?
Wintergreen.
White's a valid color. So I've had this one.
Whoa,
in my
you
back
picked
pocket.
white.
I just can't.
Let's fucking do it. Let's do it. I got my dice somewhere right here.
Matt's hokey friend, or whatever he called him, picked white.
Okay, ready? Matt, you're rolling first. How about that?
Okay,
ready?
sure.
So you're gonna post this, right, Nick?
Sure, Jack. I don't think you could even screw up that poll, but
10?
you never know.
You got a 10.
Yes, that's solid.
What, Matt got a 10?
Why did Matt get to go first?
I don't know.
What did I get?
I can't even read that. He could just be saying shit for all I know.
That is a 15.
Ooh,
whoa,
Jack gets 15.
Big roller there.
What's the biggest number you could get?
20.
Oh,
right.
Nick has a 16.
What the?
Oh, that's bullshit.
Jeez. I was in the lead to have white.
That's bullshit.
And I have a 9.
Whoa.
Right,
Okay.
so it's Nick, Jack,
Mm-hmm.
Matt,
Myself. Yep.
and AI.
And AI. Mm-hmm.
So are we sticking with the rainbow colors, or can it be any color?
It could be any color.
Like 80s hyper color.
It could be whatever color you can imagine. It could be neon green. It could be Barbie pink. Whatever you want it to be. It could be Tiffany blue. You know?
Ooh.
There's copyright on that stuff, but I think we can still post it as a
I
whole.
think so.
Nick's having a hard one. This is
Well,
a stumper.
the thing is, do I go with the J pick, or do I actually pick my favorite color?
What about Forrest Gump? Green. Sorry.
Was it green?
No, I was going with Forrest because that was in the last thing.
Oh,
what about
Forrest.
Pulp Orange?
Pulp orange.
Shawshank Red.
Just to see what people say. Shawshank Red. Yeah.
It's like a merger of the two poles. Oh, that's what she said.
Well, it's more like what he said, but whatever.
All right. I'll go with blue.
Oh, solid choice. I mean,
I'm gonna go out on the limb and say red.
Wow, you guys are going real political here.
Mm-hmm.
I won't get one Democrat to say red, will I?
Well, now you've killed it. Yeah.
I mean, you. I feel like that. Okay, my favorite color probably aquamarine blue. So, like a
But he
turquoise.
chose blue. Oh, you can do different shades of blue.
I could do turquoise.
So I'm gonna say aqua. Okay, is that okay?
What? You're changing it now?
No. I'm saying I'm gonna write down aqua for you. It's like I'm blue and you're aqua.
But you got to say blue though, right?
It is still blue.
I think I could win with pink though.
I don't think you should be able to pick a shade of blue.
Really? Okay. See, I think you can pick any color. That's what I was saying, like day glow orange.
It's like you got 64
green.
crayons, right? There's different types of blue.
Jack's
in
the
those
one that's
crayons.
like limiting himself to just red.
We should
It's
be
like,
limited. We should limit to the rainbow. Not.
Oh, so you just Roy G. Biv? Is that what?
Like
we're
I'm not gonna
doing?
let you get away with graphite.
Blue ball blues.
Baby diaper green.
This is a fucking cookie debacle all over again. Okay, I can't have my
grandma's varicose
homemade-
veins blue.
No. Yeah, any color. I didn't say that your favorite color was bone white, but it probably is.
Oh God.
If I can't have, if we're just going Roy G. Biv, then I'll go indigo.
You're gonna go indigo? Okay.
Well, I mean, if I can't have aqua, but I would
Isn't that
pick,
close to red?
I would pick aquamarine
No,
or
indigo's like purple.
turquoise. Turquoise is like a tertiary color,
They get it
so
from red, don't they?
it's like a. I'll go. Can't believe they're arguing over colors. Yeah, they are.
Infected scab.
It's like
green.
it's scab green.
Exactly.
Green blue.
You can't pick two. It's like someone has two
Blue
first names.
green?
Okay, Michael David.
What are we setting
son
for
has
the
3
rules?
first names.
Can I have a tertiary color?
What do you want? What do you want? What
Do whatever you
would
want.
make you happy, Matt?
I
Aqua
want
blue.
I want aqua blue.
Aqua
I want aqua blue.
blue. Okay.
You can have blue. I'm gonna have aqua blue. Aquamarine blue would be fine too. You know, I was just trying to stall for Chris.
Look, Sherry,
really.
keep talking. I'm gonna ban you from this chat.
Bleeding hemorrhoids red. Yes.
Thank you, Sherry. I believe that. So everybody
What about
needs to do a
navy
different-
blue?
Navy blue.
That would be funny if we all did.
Give me all shades of blue.
All right,
Shades of blue.
I need to come up with another blue.
Oh, okay. I
Well,
see.
then I need to
That's
pick a different
cool.
because I just can't be just blue.
I'm gonna go royal blue.
Ooh, royal blue.
Royal
Nice.
blue is a good one.
So we're all doing
Nick's
blue,
got
right?
Blue.
No, I'm going to change mine now. 'cause
He's
I
just
can't
got
be blue.
middle of the road blue.
Yeah.
Just
Your number
plain-
one draft pick choice has just turned to shit.
And then wait, what? Okay, so Chris, what were you blue again? What were you?
What the fuck? Navy blue.
Navy blue.
he's navy.
Oh my
Jack's royal. I'm aqua blue.
I'm going to go with midnight blue.
Oh
Midnight
fuck!
blue.
It-
Oh.
just even darker than navy, basically,
Right.
depending on what circles
I
you
could
ride
go with
in.
sky blue.
Oh, fuck.
You think sky blue?
That's gonna
Yeah,
win.
that'd probably win. Yeah.
Okay, let's go sky blue. All right.
Okay, sky blue. Nobody
But-
expects you to
but
pick
Nick,
sky blue.
But Nick,
Yeah,
don't
it's
say
such
what's your
optimistic
favorite
color.
color. Blue. Say what's your favorite color. And the
What's your
people that-
favorite color? Everybody's gonna be like, "Why didn't you pick orange?"
No, but that's what I'm saying is people
Right.
that didn't listen to this
Yeah, that's
will
true.
have no fucking clue
Right.
Right.
why we all had a blue color. So yeah, but don't say what's your favorite blue. Say what's your
Right.
favorite color.
Jack's like, I can't post this, Nick. Only you can
Oh,
post
my, I can do it.
the polls.
I'll forget by tomorrow. But once we stop recording, I'm like
Primary blue.
primary blue.
I'm really hoping that somebody, puts the Tobias Bluth. I just blew myself.
That was a good
Michael Jackson blue, BLEW. Oops, wrong blue. Anyway,
that's fun.
that'll be fun, and you guys that are here right now are all in it. That was Sherry's suggestion, right?
Yeah, thanks for the favorite color, Sherry.
Yeah, except you're wrong about the cookies.
You're totally right about the cookies.
No,
It's
not the same.
I finished Only Murders in the Building.
Oh,
Okay.
Has everybody, have you?
So, I mean,
Chris hasn't.
Chris? No? Yes, no?
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, did you feel kind of like I did, Matt? Like I kind of was a little let down with the majority of the season, but then it got good at the very
Mhm.
end. But
I liked some of the twists and turns in the middle part of the season when it was just kind of like I wasn't quite sure who it was, so I liked some of
Mhm.
those like because there were several episodes there where it was just like, oh, that's it. Oh, that's, so it kind of kept me guessing. And even up till the end, I was even still suspecting somebody else. And so I think if anything, I didn't feel like, I felt like how it ended, I was a little bit more like, it just was, I
like that it's plausible because they're throwing hints out there the whole time, but they don't focus on it, so you don't pay attention to it. I was like, oh, that's right, they did do that. It all makes sense.
I think
it's not just one of those endings where they go,
right,
the butler did it, and you're like going,
right.
Yeah. No, I thought it was is very well written.
Yes.
I just what I thought was missing was the camaraderie between the three main actors, where you got a lot of that in season 1, season 2 with the podcast, and all that. Because they separated them too much, I felt, in this season. Because I loved, like, even that we talked about that one episode in season 2 where you have the podcast fans, kind of like I thought that was so neat, and then they didn't really have that community feel.
They had a little bit more of like a different theme, I guess, to the podcast, if you want to call it that. Like,
sorry, I'm reading the comment.
But I'm also trying to be very, very vague. It's really funny.
It is funny. It is
hilarious.
Funny.
But that's not my favorite color of blue, or my favorite color. I mean,
blue
after aquamarine blue, there's like a golden yellow that I really like. It's like a darker yellow. That I've always been.
I was going to say that this
kidney
was
infection.
Cad yellow deep.
I thought this season was the funniest
of this show. Yeah, Ramblecast After Dark.
No, not the Ramblecast. The
just the show in general. It was
because I enjoyed the part with a
Meryl
certain
Streep?
Actor who they got to do the part, and he was so anal about everything.
That was good. Yeah,
and then Martin Short can't get rid of him, and he's like,
right.
I wasn't going to mention his name, but you mentioned it. But
nothing wrong with it.
Okay, I thought that was hilarious.
I liked it when he called. Who did he call? The director,
Mel Brooks.
Was it Mel Brooks? Yeah. Don't listen to him. Don't take his advice.
Yes.
Don't hire him.
Now
you already did. No, that's a mistake.
So, yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Also, a really weird in real life kind of like with that guest actor and what Jack has talked about that guest actor doing in their past, being involved in an actual murder.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a weird, like, when that's happening, I was like, wait, Jack's always talked about this. I was like, this is kind of weird that, so like he's kind of a killer.
I was kind of felt sorry for him as an actor because, like, he kind of peaked, in the 80s. And then, the movie that kind of killed his career, which was in 99. That movie should have been very good, and it was terrible.
Yeah, no, it wasn't done.
You have two. You have two actually that killed his career. You have the Cable Guy, Inspector Gadget, Cable Guy, and then Godzilla. Like, you kind of had three flops.
I thought Cable Guy was funny though.
Cable Guy was good, but it was considered a flop because when you think about Jim Carrey's career with The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and then there's another one in there. All three of them,
it was also considered a little bit more darker. Like, that's kind of how the '90s went, though. Like the '90s.
I like Biloxi Blues. I mean,
it's
I enjoy watching that.
It's like the '70s, like the early half of the '70s had this like darker tone to like the movies and the way they ended, and really kind of like pushed that tragedy.
You're saying, Nick, he was in such big films early on in his career. I mean,
that's like it. You hate that, like, because you always. It's kind of like who is it that's been on? Like Michael Keaton. Everyone loves Michael Keaton, but he almost had to take like a decade off for him to be appreciated when he came back, or almost 2 decades. Really.
Or Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. Because he was just had a shitty run of luck, really.
Yeah.
Oh, and then when watching Loki. That's another show.
Oh, yeah. I've watched and rewatched Loki because there's certain things that I miss or that I forget from the first season. And sometimes that show makes me feel like I took Lost in college. Like, I know this shit, but like Loki is so inundated with this like time travel loop kind of like stuff that like you can miss something really easily on that show. One thing about Loki is, and this is only kind of a spoiler for the first season, but the last episode of the first season of Loki, so episode number 6, I think, the way that it opens with the Marvel kind of like, they always have the flickering picture of all of the superheroes, and it's panning back and we're seeing the Marvel logo, and you're hearing like Captain America say like, I can do this all day. And you're hearing all of these catchphrases from all of the different characters as it pans back. It has never done that on the show. And it's doing that, and it's panning back even from Earth. And then all of a sudden you start to hear like famous people talking, like they throw in a Greta Thunberg like quote of like, how dare you, and then you hear Nelson Mandela is the last one you hear as they pull back from our universe. So it's like they're pulling back for the entire universe. You hear Nelson Mandela, which is key because of the Mandela effect.
Right? Okay.
And then it flips and goes into a whole nother universe. And you're going speeding into this other universe, right? And you hear some other quotes happen. And then eventually you hear Vision's voice from WandaVision saying his like really heartfelt thing to her that he says at the end of WandaVision. And you get a couple other quotes, and then all of a sudden you're at the end of time with the person at the, it's like you see the timeline even like spinning around them like a black hole. And that's where they meet the person, what do they call him? Basically Kang. You meet Kang at the end of the universe there.
So playing with yourself, Chris.
So that whole opening.
What? No, you're the dice.
Yes.
So that whole opening to episode 6, though, is a real mindfuck, because it's basically showing you, like, we've just left everything in this one universe and we're going over to this other universe, which is where this is happening. So we're already dealing with an alternate universe.
Timeline,
like, and it's confusing because within Loki, they talk about the time stream and like the sacred timeline, right? And then you have these fragments off of the sacred timeline. That is only the sacred timeline as I understand it for that universe. And this whole universe is a parallel universe,
right?
Which is a total mindfuck for the idea of A, time and how that can fracture, but B, how you can have a whole other universe. And they mentioned the multiverse war in one of the more recent episodes of this season.
Missed that. Okay.
So that's another like kind of like, oh, well, if the TVA exists out of time and they're talking about a multiversal war, they could be talking about stuff that we haven't even seen happen yet, like things that they're planning on with perhaps Secret Wars or the Kang Dynasty or whatever they decide to do with that. Like, they could even destroy the Kang Dynasty and then we go back to this other universe.
Yeah.
We could have characters that come back to this other universe, but it's a whole other thing for that opener when I watched it. So, I'm just putting that out there.
No, it's actually
anybody that's watching.
A lot of really good thoughts. Yeah.
It makes the show Loki make so much more of a sense as like a key that unlocks this whole next phase that has been frustrating. I think Loki is actually the better show.
The savior. I agree.
Of the stuff that we've had out of the Marvel, I think it's more well written and smartly done.
I never understood that either. Like, a year ago or 2 years ago, when people were just swooning over WandaVision and some of these other shows, and I was like, no one praised Loki. I was like, Loki to me was one of the better shows, and people just kind of thought, but
that first season was kind of a snowball. It was a slow start, that first episode, I think, but it really picks up with each episode. So,
just speaking of Loki, Chris, did you ever get back into and watch the last season of
No,
Ragnarok?
Not yet.
Ragnarok.
I haven't had a chance to. Like, the only time I watch shows anymore is during like my lunch break, and I latch onto one show and I'll watch an episode every day at work. So I'm on season 2 of
Manifest.
Invasion. Manifest. Fuck. Dude, somebody in chat earlier scared me, and they posted that Manifest got renewed for a season.
Oh God.
5.
Oh God.
And I was like, what?
Where would you go with it?
For a good 7 minutes, I wasn't even on this podcast. I was researching to make sure that wasn't true.
But going back to what Jack was saying, now with
we didn't notice
the actor strike, still going with all this stuff, because we're gonna have a big lull, with nothing coming out. Is that I guarantee we're gonna have somebody that's gonna watch Manifest during this time of nothing and be like, oh my God, and we're gonna get some email saying
it won't be me.
Well, that's like Suits. Suits is just taken off as far as
I'm going to give it a try.
You should also, Jack, watch Ragnarok if you have time.
Ragnarok.
It's on Netflix. It is in Norwegian, so it's going to be dubbed.
Okay.
But the first 2 seasons are great.
How do you know I don't speak Norwegian?
I'm sorry to assume that you're a scholar, Jack. I'm sorry that you're not a scholar.
Last name Gladfelder.
The first 2 seasons are good. The third season, to me, it was decent. It wasn't the best. It felt kind of like a lot of shows, like they knew the end and they wanted to get to the end, and but it's not bad.
We're getting more reality shows, is what we're getting.
Yeah,
and that's what the networks want anyway.
It's good for Cliff. It's good for Cliff.
But have either of you guys watched Lego Masters, the new season?
I've watched this season so far. Yeah. We got 3 episodes in, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
I've enjoyed this season better than I did last season.
They at least had a moment in one of the episodes where they actually did a time lapse thing of just them building, which I've been asking for, because these little bits that they do in the middle, just show them building. You could literally just show me a time lapse of each team building their shit,
and I would like it.
And I would plug into that. Some of the bits with Will, and I don't know who else writes with him, just fall flat. I know he's a funny guy.
He's a funny
Will
guy,
who?
But
Will Arnett.
Oh, Will Arnett.
But some of the writing and it just
he's hit or miss though.
Yeah.
I tend to think he's probably the weakest part of the show. I understand they want a funny host to be on it.
Talk about someone with just one joke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about Lego because the thing is, it's funny is that it actually exists in other countries. Yeah. I watched Lego Masters Australia when I was down there in May. I was like, holy shit, this is good. It was way different than ours, because I really wish one of the things I liked about season 1 is that they actually had the themes, like, oh, we're going to do Star Wars today, we're going to do this, and then I've enjoyed some things this season. I enjoyed this last one with the volcanoes. I thought that was really great. They had to build like a volcano scene, Chris and Jack, and then they actually had like fake lava inside it, so when it erupted, it would come down and cause motors to run or wheels to turn to make other stuff happen within the build. And I was like, that's really cool.
It is amazing what they can do. Even when you get by we bought some Legos for our grandkids, and my grandson goes, what the fuck kid goes, I was building the alligator for him, and he goes, Papa, you're using the wrong green. I go, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I put it all together, and I go, oh shit.
That happens.
I used the wrong green. He goes, told you.
Well, I think especially in men, because men are more colorblind than women. Reds and greens are hard for us to tell, and especially like when I build certain Legos with reds and greens, if they're just slightly different colors, I'll notice that. Like, I'll build it wrong, and then after I put it in a better light, I'm like, oh motherfucker, and then I have to take it apart and put it back.
My wife, who sometimes will have trouble with vision stuff, like she'll use the iPad and just go through the builder as opposed to the paper, because the paper, if you're looking through the instruction things, sometimes the brightness or being able to distinguish the colors, it's
but if I would have looked at it closely, I could have told.
So one thing, Nick, and since you've seen that episode with the volcanoes, I just want to point this out, just as someone who's taught art, is that the people that lose in that episode did the exact same thing that like every art student does at some point. They don't even follow the fucking assignment. There's there's one thing that you're supposed to do and build
all volcano.
And when you don't, you're probably not going to win.
And you always they tell you that too. Is that so Chris and Jack, you guys probably never watched the show. Like, there's 2 actually Lego people there. They're from England. And they walk around and give advice to these people. And that was the theme. Is like, you have to have a volcano. And these guys built what are they called? The Egyptian
Obelisk.
Obelisk. Yeah, they built an obelisk, which is their volcano. It's like, well, it's not really a fucking volcano, is it? And so, in my thought immediately when they told them that, I was like, okay, guys, you need to scratch the obelisk and build at least like a half pyramid, half volcano or something, and do it that way. At least there's a volcano there.
Right.
And of course they didn't, and then they lost.
Or they could have had the obelisk coming out of the volcano. Like, talk about a phallic gesture.
Dumbasses.
Yeah.
But anyway, it made me laugh because I was just like, fucking art students. Like, they think, and I liked that group, even though they weren't art students, but they did the classic thing that.
John,
how long do they have to build?
It depends on the build. Like it's anywhere from 4 to 8
10
hours.
hours.
Yeah, or 10 hours.
Yeah,
Wow.
which that it's like a double day that they
kind of give them time. Yeah.
It's not 10 straight hours. They do 5 hours, take a break.
I assume so.
I assume they give them a break at some point. Yeah, because I mean that would get very mind numbing.
And the BO, under those lights and the stress level. So, but anyway.
John, retired guy, says that he bought the Manifest Lego set. There's no instructions; you just build it from memories of your calling.
Jesus Christ!
probably does exist.
So I wonder though, like you mentioned, that why don't they do like the time lapse, the videos of them building stuff? But do you think it's like a proprietary thing for them?
I don't.
It's huge on YouTube. I mean,
I know this is the thing that I'm like, you could even just put that on a TikTok to get people to like tune into Lego Masters, or like it seems like something viral, like they're already building it, like just set up the camera and go. But maybe it's because they don't have enough cameras to film everybody at the same time. But
you think they would just have like a camera, like a GoPro,
like
just attached to the desk,
like a GoPro kind of thing. Yeah, like come on, they have the money for that shit. Like it doesn't.
What channel is it on?
It's on Fox.
Yeah, Fox.
Hulu.
I just Hulu it and just record it, and then when I see it in my recordings, I just watch it. But it can be very good. There's definitely some episodes where I'm like, this one's kind of stupid. But I usually like it when they build something that's competitive against other people's builds. Like they did one where they built, I think, race cars or something. I really liked that one. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I like it when they did themes. When they in season 1, when they did the Star Wars theme, that was really cool. Yeah. And it's funny stuff that makes you win or lose, because like I think like a lot of people in the Star Wars episode, you're thinking like, I want Hoth, But the thing about Hoth is it's all white, and so you're like, there's nothing really to make it stand out because it's all white, and you're like, oh, dude, you don't even think about like things like that. Why that could potentially suck as a theme to get. But yeah, it can be a good show.
Lego Fest is coming to Raleigh.
It's coming to Denver as well.
Here too.
I think that's what they do. Like they just tend to a circuit.
They do. They have a circuit of but they also bring in people from around, that have builds, so that if you're
I'll be honest, it is addicting.
Oh yeah.
When I sit there with the kids and do it, and it's like
the Avengers Tower is coming out Thanksgiving, and I so want it, but I'm gonna have to save up.
So yeah. The one thing that I think Jack is it's kind of therapeutic, just clicking things together. Like I've been playing with gears. I have a whole setup of just gears, and I just kind of like to tinker around and see what I can make. And sometimes it's just like sitting there in front of the TV as opposed to being on my phone. It's like something tactile,
I should build.
Well, it's how it comes out. You sit there and go, because my grandson who's 4, like I said, he put this whole Jeep together. All right, because I didn't help him. I said, I'm doing the alligator. That's it. You do the rest.
I'm doing the alligator. Oh, have you built that yet?
No, he wants to build it.
I haven't opened it.
You're 100% right, though, man. I think you and I have talked about this, and Chris too, probably about people who don't put together Legos sometimes will go like, you're a grown man putting together Legos. Like, dude, it's therapeutic. I was like, if you ever put one together, it's stressful and relaxful at the same time. It's like it's a
satisfying puzzle. It's like a three-dimensional puzzle, but it's also fun to
me. It's no different than making up and then putting a puzzle together. I mean,
My wife likes to do the holiday ones. It's like her jam.
This is the very first Lego I ever got as a kid. This is from 1989. This is Lego's very first 3-in-1. So
Wow.
it can be either a Jeep, a van, or something else. But like you turn the little wheel here at the
Oh,
top,
custom.
which will turn the wheels.
Oh,
you know,
That's awesome.
But it's I've had it for over 30 years.
Yeah.
I found it when I was home, so I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, that is cool.
awesome.
It's also nice.
What's it worth?
Not much.
No,
Some of those early
you
sets.
took it out of the box.
A lot of the money's in the minifigs and
The minifigs, worth a ton. I've got so many minifigs that I took like a month and did like a whole inventory of everything. And then you get on eBay or you get on places and look them up, and you're like, holy shit, that guy's worth $80. And then you look at other ones and they're worth $500, and you're like, who would pay $500 for a minifig? But there's people that will do it.
Yeah.
Is it because there's less of that fig?
Well, okay. For example, so Jack, let's just say Star Wars. I know you're not a Star Wars guy, but
I like Star Wars. I'm just not a geek.
Ahsoka, for example, there are 5 or 6 official minifigures for Ahsoka. I own 4 of the 5, but the one I don't own is the one that's worth a shit ton of money, and it's because it's from one set only in Rebels, and it was not a very popular set, and it's her. And as an adult, has very different markings on it, and that minifig alone, I think, is worth like $300.
Jesus Christ!
But whereas in the rest of them, her as a young Padawan, her and everything else, they're worth like $8
or Thrawn. He was
or Thrawn. I have Thrawn. I have 2 Thrawns, and those things are worth. He's worth a shit ton.
Before I forget, and I know that everybody loves us when we talk about Legos, but if you have your old instruction manuals, the
QR code.
The QR code. I wanted to tell Chris this too, if you didn't know, but like you get Lego points for those, and you can scan.
Get the Lego app, the Lego Builder app on your iPhone, and then if you have your instructions, you scan the QR code, and it'll give you 20 points per instructions.
So every instruction manual that you have.
Yeah.
So I just went through all of ours, and there was probably around 300 points that I scored.
That's awesome.
Because I had a bunch of old ones and even the little sets like the $5 sets that if your kid got one and it's just got
you can't do multiple ones. So if you have 10 road plates, you can only do 1 road plate.
Oh, really? Because I had 2 A-wings.
Oh.
And both A-wings went through.
That's interesting. Okay, so I'll have to test that out.
So it does. I had multiple sets on some things because anyway, again, I'm putting Jack to sleep. The
Dune set that's coming out?
You guys, what's that? The Dune?
The Dune set?
Yeah, the flying,
Ornithopter.
Do you see the minifigs in that set?
Yeah,
the one that's 6 inches tall.
Yeah. yeah.
People are just going to get it for that.
They won't even know. Right.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I saw a TikToker that was going on about it. He's like, check out the new Lego League, blah, blah. He's like, now I haven't seen Dune. And I was like, fuck you.
He must have listened to our podcast a few years ago.
It was it's a cool build because you can actually move the wings and stuff like that. It's from the new movie though.
Right.
Jack.
Okay. And it did better.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
It's funny you mentioned the seeing the different colors of the Legos. I'm just thinking, since I got into doing it recently, almost all of my builds are gray because of Star Wars. And the difference in the gray pieces and the light gray and the shiny gray and the not so light gray, and then there's the dark gray, there's
warm
shades
gray.
of black. It's I was going crazy trying to put those all together and not fuck up each one. But yeah, especially with the Mandalorian ones, you get that weird glossy gray too. It's you can't tell the difference on the piece of paper.
Yeah.
Cindy, she started with Hayden doing it, and it's one of those. It's a giant Lego, and it has all the different stuff in it. She cut all the bags open and poured it in there.
Oh,
I said. So I didn't say anything to her, but I told I told Hayden, I go, your Gigi didn't do us any favors at all.
You went from an hour process to
because it has these round things in the bottom, and it's the little pieces are in there, and I'm trying to get it out. I'm going. He's like, I go, be patient. I'm trying to get this little, I'm getting a little,
Oof.
I said, she said, I shouldn't have done that. Should I go? Nope, rookie mistake.
You just go out and buy a new one. That's all you do. You go out and buy a new one.
But it's funny though. There's 2 more that have to be built. There's no instructions. You have to go on a line and do it.
What's
I go, so
No.
50 bucks doesn't, you don't get the instructions?
No,
They
And-
usually
and-
have the instructions.
But
No,
Is it
it's-
a
are they
is
real
it a 3
Legos?
in 1?
They're real Legos. It's real Legos.
That's weird.
And there's
What-
there's
what
there's
set?
2 things that don't have, so you have to go online and find the.
Well, you probably got the Lego Builder app, which Nick was talking about. So,
I didn't buy it. Cindy bought it.
yeah. Anyway,
I said, why don't you get the? I thought you were just gonna get random Legos, where I go, once they're built, they're not gonna want to take them apart.
Right.
And she goes, oh. I said, so your idea was, oh, they can come over here and build anything they want. And I go, no. I go, they're just gonna build that. They built the train. They built the Jeep. We built the alligator. I go,
Yeah.
and now the next 2, and all that joy is gone.
now you build the alligator and the Jeep together. So,
Yeah, I guess.
and that sounds like a Lego Masters Australia. So, incorporate an alligator into your build. So,
Or Florida.
or Florida. Yeah.
It is neat though how they do that.
I saw a clip the other day of speaking of Australia. Remember Steve Irwin?
Yep. Who couldn't forget him?
Yeah. I saw a clip of his son.
Oh yeah, with the
Like-
same alligator or some
I
crocodile.
don't know, with like hatching the egg of some. I forget what the fuck it
Tyrannosaurus
was.
Rex.
Like a turtle. No, it was a turtle. Like hatching a turtle that like it was like his father like discovered this turtle.
Oh,
There was only
we got
like
a little bit of Nick's
3,
midriff
or
here.
I think it was the last. Hey, what's up there, midriff?
He's
Yeah.
bringing sexy back to the RCAD.
Yeah.
Where it was like this almost extinct turtle, and he was able to like successfully help them
That's cool.
breed and hatch the new one, and he was all like emotional and stuff. It was actually a really nice video.
Whenever I breed,
just be glad I'm wearing
I get
pants.
emotional.
Yeah, we were happy about that. I did see something on TikTok. It was what's his name? Guy died recently. Comedian, Saturday Night Live. He always
Narrowing
did
it down.
Turd Ferguson on Jeopardy.
Oh,
Celebrity
Norm
Jeopardy.
Macdonald.
Norm
Oh,
Macdonald.
Norm
Oh, okay.
He
yeah.
does his joke about. He talks about Steve Irwin, and it's so funny. And I forget who the talk show he was on. He goes, "Don't make me laugh at this." He goes, and the guy's laughing. He goes, because it was, Norm Macdonald didn't have any buffer. It was just how he was.
Subtly. Yeah, just
It was
like
funny. It was hilarious. I going, kind of feel bad for laughing, but it is funny.
I mean, the best to me joke about Steve Irwin was South Park, because it was literally like 2 weeks after he died, because he died in like October of whatever year that was, and it's one of the Satan episodes where Satan's having a Halloween party in hell, and everyone's wearing a costume, and then Steve Irwin shows up, and he's got the stingray through his fucking chest, and Satan walks up to him and says, "Hey, dude, that's not cool. He literally just died." And he's like, "I am Steve Irwin." And then Satan goes, "Oh, well, then get the fuck out because you're supposed to be wearing a costume."
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Is that the title of the episode? Steve Irwin needs to wear a costume.
Get the fuck out! You know, to wear a costume.
Can't believe I was- yeah, you should see that episode if you haven't seen
It's
it.
been like 10 years, hasn't it? Right?
Oh, easily 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's past the. It's okay to talk about it now. Oh, man, I wonder how many listeners we lost on that.
Oh my god!
I don't think we lose any. I
don't
think they
think
just
we-
keep.
yeah.
I think they just keep
at
coming.
this point, people should know that we're basically fucked in the head. At least
Oh,
I
yeah.
am. So.
We knew that.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. I'm waiting for the AI overlords. So
Oh, Matt, is that the name of the episode? And Satan wants his Ferrari cake. I don't know. Oh, Steve Irwin, 17 years ago. Wow.
17 years ago? Wow.
wow, yeah,
That's
feels
crazy.
like 10.
It does feel. I mean, because time just flies. It really does.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's almost November.
Yeah.
What happened to this year?
I don't know. I lived
Crazy.
most of it in the hotel, so I don't know.
That's true. Yeah. I keep counting down the days to the I'm almost done with bottles. I got
Oh,
one grandkid who's still, and he
You'll
doesn't
be-
really like
oh.
the bottles, so he's got like, I figure I got like 4 or 5 more months of the bottles.
You'll be on one by the time you're done.
I'm already am. Well, I keep asking. Okay, I go. You kids owe me. Who's changing my diaper? They look at me like I'm crazy. I asked my grand. I go. She said something about diaper. I said, "You'll be changing my diaper someday." She goes, "No, I'll do Gigi's diaper."
You sure?
I go, "Gigi stinks. I don't know if you want to do Gigi's diaper." But yeah, I'm counting down those days, and then when they all go to school, and you know, all that fun stuff.
All right.
But
AI,
they're fun.
Chris is got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Oh. What blows my mind is like when you meet people like Matt, for example, you know, when you first meet Matt and and he says like, oh, my kids are 9 and 6 or whatever, you know, and in your mind for the longest time, they're 9 and 6. And then you see them and you're like, I thought your kids were 9 and 6. He says, that was 5 years ago. And you're like, oh shit. Like, you know,
yeah.
I mean,
well, you said 17 years. My daughter,
she's driving now. So
she's 16. She just turned 16. Next March, she'll be 17. So,
so it's crazy.
It just goes by.
I know kids. I used to coach hockey. I mean, in San Diego, they're married. They have kids. They're like in their late 30s. I'm like going, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, Jesus. And then I realized, oh, I'm 61. So I'm old.
Matt Treese did us the favor of telling us. So it's season 10, episode 11, called Hell on Earth 2006 is the episode I was referring to as South Park.
How did he know that?
It's Matt, man. Matt knows everything.
Well, he was probably Googling, you know, so he's plugged in.
You go on Jeopardy, Matt.
So I was hearing you say it, Nick, about, you know, kids growing up or whatever. So my daughter comes home from school the other day, informs my wife and I that she has a boyfriend.
Oh my god!
What?
Did you? You need to scare the hell out of her right now. Like, I need to meet this kid. Just like
meet him now.
Lay into the kid. Do you have a job? What's your future? Okay, like what are your intentions with my daughter?
Oh my god! Yeah, that hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. And I was like, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I know with Ava, she's in kindergarten, and every day she comes home with a different. Some boy has drawn her a picture. I go, wait, what?
I could see her as a flirt. Yeah.
I go, what the? I go, no, you're not supposed to talk to boys.
Ah, god damn it!
You go, God.
What are the pictures that they're drawing for?
Yeah,
her?
Well, they're nothing.
More of the-
They're just kids.
That's where you need to start, man.
Sorry, I just went full Titanic. You know,
Giant penis, you know. Like
It's, I mean, wait. I just can't imagine that their artistic level is just anywhere. You know.
None of them have hairs.
Don't forget the ball hairs.
No, they don't have them.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have brought that up.
No, it was great. It was great.
But still, every day she has a different boy that's giving her a drawing. I mean, there's stupid stuff. I mean,
It's,
you know,
I know.
they obviously haven't been to Matt's art class or seen his TikTok channel every day in bed.
Right.
So they don't know how to draw or paint or the little things you do with the pencil things.
Yeah, the ball hairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
the ball hairs.
She's 5.
You are a sicko.
Yeah,
Sicko.
I don't know if I can talk to you anymore, Matt.
I
said Nick. I said Matt first. I said Nick.
Okay, yeah. This was already been established. You mixed the names up.
Yeah,
Worst thing we ever
How?
That's why nobody likes you, Nick. That's why nobody likes you.
Stop the show. How do we stop this show now?
Oh my god! I think it's time to wrap it up, don't you?
Yeah.
Do we have any emails or?
Oh yes, we do actually.
Fuck.
You were thinking of your next fucking crude joke, weren't you, Nick?
Not me, never.
Episode
right.
title: Don't forget your ball hair.
What kind of drawings?
Yeah. Okay, so this is from Simon Price.
Oh, I don't
in,
think
in
it's-
referring to y'all's last episode.
Oh, okay.
And the title is called Prequel Schmequel. Guys, there are no lightsaber duels in The Last Jedi. None. Yet another reason why it sucks balls. Love the show, Simon.
Okay.
That was not from me.
I wasn't me.
Yeah.
Simon Price, you said?
His name was Simon Price. Yes,
That's a new.
Okay.
That's a new.
he was a it was a new email.
Well, thanks for your email.
Hey,
Well,
hey,
if Simon says,
I 100%
we
agree
have
with you,
to agree.
Simon. So
That's it. That's all we got.
that's all we got.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's the end. Oh, another
This
Janet
is the
Jackson
end.
reference there. That was awesome.
What?
He made the Janet Jackson reference earlier in the show. He said,
Oh, did
"Miss
he?
Jackson, if you're nasty."
Yeah, Miss
Oh,
Jackson.
okay,
if you're
okay.
nasty.
All right. I don't know. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap this show up because it's gone just down a direction
Too
I don't
long.
want to talk about.
A weird path.
What are you guys talking about?
Anyway, if you'd like to help this show out, you become a patron. Go to jayandjack.com. Click on the button to be a patron. Still looking for that $1 million patron. The only-
Send us an email at rcadcast@gmail.com.
Once again,
rcadcast
All right. Matt, are you producing this episode?
at gmail.com. Well, I just want to make sure that they get their votes in. You know, like if you're not on Facebook, you can always email us your vote.
That's
You know,
true.
we'll
Tell us
tell.
your favorite color.
Tell
and
us
also,
your
if you
favorite.
want to watch the show live, subscribe to the show, our YouTube channel. We're up to 125 subscribers. So
That's more than me. So
yeah, there you go. So 125 subscribers, and you get to see
Good to have you here.
how the show is going. The chat is always funny most of the time. And then anyway, we like to thank we thank all our patrons, but we're going to thank 4 that reached a certain level. And that's Eckhart Rickner Glaffeler, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Lettercare. Thanks for what you do, and thanks for everyone who listens to this podcast, joins us live, and all that fun stuff. Hasta luego, and goodbye.
Good evening.
See ya.
Aqua Blue.